Hi everyone, it's Jody, and I'm coming on midweek to talk with you guys about some different things that are going on in the collective that maybe you are wondering why they were happening. Maybe you're looking at them and you're unclear. Maybe you are just wondering. And so I want to share some perspectives with you. So we just had on Sunday a new moon in Taurus. And prior to that happening, for like the last week or two, different people that I talk to are talking about how they are experiencing more pain in their body than is normal. And we have talked about many of the things that we're probably going to bring up today in today's talk, but one of the main reasons why people are experiencing this feeling of aches and pains in the body, and it could be like flare-ups of sorts, it is because we are clearing karmic, ancestral, lineage, wounds, and traumas. And we are being called to no longer allow that way of being in our lives. And it's forcing us to, if you're not doing a lot of the inner work, you're going to experience this more than if you are. But it's forcing us to really unravel and go deep and uncover why we've been doing it all along and why we have been allowing ourselves to do it. And in some cases, it might create in the emotions a lot of anger or a lot of frustration or a lot of feeling of rage. And those feelings that come up in the physical body can present with a lot of aches, a lot of pains, a lot of flare-ups. Depending on what part of the body it is happening in is going to give you more of an indication as to what you specifically are clearing in your lineage. But it's necessary because we need to clear all of this. Look at how that was weird. We need to clear all of this old stagnant energy out of our physicality and out of our energy field, our aura, for once and for all. The earth is shifting and changing, and we as humans on the earth are doing the same. And sometimes it's hard for us to keep up with all that is going on Mother Earth, on Gaia, because we are not used to it in our physical bodies. I ask you to have patience with yourself. A lot of this is calling us to have patience with ourselves. Everything I'm going to say is with you, okay? So it trickles out externally after, but it has to start with you. So it's asking you to have patience with yourself in the process. It's asking you to have grace with yourself in the process. It's asking you to be kinder to yourself in the process. It's asking you to speak kindly to yourself. To not have this negative self-talk, to present more love and compassion to yourself. When you're able to do that to yourself, you will then attract that into your life. Oftentimes people have an easier time doing that with others than they do with themselves. And I guess one of the overall overarching themes of breaking down that we need to start doing is taking better care of ourselves. Because the society has become such a way that we're all so busy taking care of everybody else that we put ourselves last on the list. And that cannot continue to happen. Because the way the world has been, obviously, if you look around, you see that the world is suffering immensely, and we need to start taking the time and doing what we need to do to take better care of ourselves. When you have an ache or a pain in the body, or you're having some sort of a flare-up, I really invite you to think about not just the pain, You are not the pain. You are experiencing the pain, and it will pass. It may take a long time to pass, but it will pass. But I want you to start to consider reasons as to why it might be happening. And I'm not talking medically speaking. I'm talking about the emotional attachment that is associated with the pain in the body. It's very important. This is a change that is going to happen in the world. More and more people are going to open themselves up to the reality that when you have a pain in the body, when you have dis-ease in the body, when you have illness in the body, it is probably because there is an emotional attachment or an emotional reason behind why it's occurring. And if we take more and more time to tune in to our bodies, to care more for our bodies, the less you are going to experience these aches and pains. And I don't just tell you this because I just think it. I tell you this because I had this experience as well. I used to suffer a lot with headaches. And the more that I took the time to do the inner work, to tune in, to clear my chakras, to have Reiki, to sit in meditation, to call on the angels and ask them to work with me to clear the energy, the headaches are pretty much, knock on wood, gone. I went to the post office today, and the man in the post office said to me that his head has been bothering him so much today that he took 4 Excedrin headaches and he's still not feeling good. And that's just scary, that he's just popping pills and not looking at the underlying root cause to potentially why he might be having those headaches. And obviously there is a myriad of reasons. He could be dehydrated. He could also be experiencing what I said in my Sunday message, which was that I was experiencing the pressure in the head. And that's the way it was happening for me because of the new moon that was coming in from Taurus. But if you're someone that doesn't even believe in this or skeptical or has no clue about it, you're not even going to think about it. So I invite you to understand that there's more than just one reason behind a pain or an ache in your body, and it's very important to start looking into that. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. And before we continue, I want to pull a card. We're still working with Archangel Michael. We need him right now. We need all the angels of divine white light. We need all of the archangels, but we're going to work with Michael again today and see what he has to say with regards to this first message that I just shared with you guys. And here's the card. The card is, it is time to take control of your thoughts because your vibration is rising. This is a time of great spiritual growth for you. You are evolving to occupy a higher energetic frequency, which is what we just talked about. More light coming into the body. Our bodies are not used to this. So when more light comes into your physical body, you will experience aches and pains. And if there's areas, any part of that body that there might be areas that there's stagnant energy or there's still karmic beliefs or patterns from your ancestors that need to be cut away, need to be broken, well, that's probably the part of the body that you're going to feel it. And then the second part of this is take control of your thoughts. A lot of us are so used to going into our mind and letting the mind control us, letting the logic control us, letting the overthinking control us. And we are not giving ourselves enough love and enough caring so that we can be better to ourselves and be more gentle to ourselves and be more loving to ourselves. We are being called to be more loving, and we have been being called to do this for a very long time now, 5 years and counting, that I've been talking about this. And I'm putting my hands here to my heart, because we need to start connecting more to our heart space. That leads me to the second thing that I want to talk about, and that is how you look at what is going on outside in the world. And I really invite you, and we talked about this on Sunday as well, but I really invite you to be more neutral in how you see things unraveling. Because it's very sad and disheartening to see people who are not seeing what is occurring outside of us from a higher perspective. And I want you to understand that if you are in it and you're so close to it and you're still getting so disturbed by it and so angered by it, so frustrated by it and so overwhelmed by it, you're not helping the light of the world to clear, to evolve, to ascend. You're going to have those moments of frustration, of course. I mean, I just did I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a reading because of how frustrated I was. But my frustration is lying in the fact that more people are still wanting to just fight and still be right and still hate one side and not hate the other side. And it is destroying us. And there's my frustration, is that it is just destroying us as a collective if we can't get it together. If we can't take the time to do the work, the inner work. So let's ask Michael what he wants to talk about with regards to that second piece. So Michael is saying 2 things. And the first thing is trust your angels. The angels are working behind the scenes. And I guess that's a piece of what I'm frustrated about, is that people think that if they spew anger or whatever online or at their friends and family to say that they're right and you're wrong, they're still at a lower vibration and they're not at the higher vibration that I'm wishing more and more people would step into, which is the vibration of, you can see, you can observe everything that is happening on the world stage. I mean, my opinion is allow it to play out, because you really can't control anything. What are you making yourself crazy for, or so disturbed or so upset for? And it doesn't matter what side you're on. You could have loved the last 4 years and now you're like disturbed by what's happening, or you could have hated the last 4 years and now you're excited about what's happening. But regardless of where you stand in the last 4 years, were you able to be neutral? Were you able to step back and say, let's see how this plays out? Were you able to say, I'm not going to make myself crazy over this, but I know that God and the angels are going to do what they need to do. See, that's what I wish everybody was doing. Let me live my life. Let me do good. Let me be kind. Let me be compassionate. Let me be loving, especially to myself. Let me take better care of myself. Let me put my focus into my purpose and into my family, and let me do things that fulfill me, and let me allow whatever's playing out there to play out. Because I trust that God and the angels are going to do what needs to be done for all of our best and highest good. Everything is not always going to be peachy and rainbows and unicorns. We have to go through a lot of chaos and disruption to get to the other side. Do you understand that? Do you accept that? And it's not going to be easy. It's certainly not. And it's going to hurt our hearts, especially the empaths out there. You're going to feel it more. But I am really asking you, and so is Michael, to trust the angels in that they are doing what needs to be done. And it may not happen as quickly as you want it to, but it's happening. Allow it to happen. Humans, one of the biggest things, I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and one of the biggest things that happens with every human that comes here for a session is that we want to control the outcome. So we get in the way. And I think part of the problem is we've gotten in the way so much that we're in the mess we're in now in all the different situations because we have been so busy getting in the way. And I say we as a collective, maybe you not specifically, but the energy of the collective has tried to get in the way and try to control for manipulation and greed and power. But at the end of the day, it's the same overlying arching theme, control. So the third part of what I wanted to talk about today was what recently happened in Portugal and in Spain with the power outage and the darkness. And what I'm seeing over the course of different things that I'm reading is that we know that solar flares have been happening more often than not. And of course, remember, those also affect your physical body if you're a sensitive person. And we know that things have been changing within the sun. And we know that the veil has been lifted. It's really lifting. And what I'm saying is from us to the different levels of angels out there, with spirit guides, guardian angels, loved ones, ancestors. That doesn't mean we're all seeing them, but more and more of us are connected, feeling them, because the veil is getting thinner. So just like our physical bodies are having a harder time handling the light that is coming in through the veil, thinning out, the earth is having the same exact challenges. Now, some of this might be manipulated. I don't know. But what we have to consider is the fact that the possibility is that all of this happening is also affecting the earth as well. And these electronics may not be able to, or the Wi-Fi or whatever is going on, may not be able to withstand at the rate or the speed of how it is happening. And that's why these things are happening. So I just want to give you that perspective. I've been reading this a lot, and it makes sense. And I don't have a solution for you, but I just don't want you to panic if it happens to you, because there is the potentiality that it could happen. And we have to just be patient with the process, because I will remind you again, you chose to be here at this time. And I don't have an answer as to why, except you wanted to be part of the ascension process. So can you be more patient and more compassionate and more kind-hearted to any aspect of yourself or another, specifically another, if you have a hard time liking them or if they trigger you? Because we need to bring in more love into our earth and into our lives. And everything that I am sharing here in this almost 20-minute message is that we are all being asked to open our hearts, to expand our heart space. Because guess what? This is what the card says. No one is perfect. Stop judging others and let love heal this situation. And what we talked about in the beginning of this is being loving and kind to yourself, because perhaps you might be judging yourself. And it is time to stop doing that. Because guess what? We as a collective are ready for more. Now is the time that we need to make the changes in order to get to the next part of our journey as a collective. So I hope there was something in here that helped you. Maybe you're experiencing a lot of pain and you're unclear as to why. Maybe it came out of nowhere and you don't know why. there's the potential that it is happening because of these different moon cycles that are occurring with the different planets that are shifting and changing and with different things going on. And everybody is going to experience it differently, but a lot of people have been experiencing the pains and the aches in the last week to 2 weeks. So I wanted you to know that you're not alone. And for me, I started experiencing elbow pain randomly like 2 weeks ago, and it's gone. So give yourself time, give yourself the ability to like go through it, do more resting, do more, especially if you're feeling all of these things. Your body's talking to you. It's telling you rest more, drink more water, put lemon in it. It helps to release toxins. You know, heal, heal, heal. We are in the process of healing. So allow the process to happen. Okay, final message for us all. I'm going to get an angel number, and that's it. Let's see. And of course, as always, I'm here to help you guys. So if you are experiencing anything that you need support in, come for a session. I have a new opportunity where you could just do a pre-recorded angel card reading. So you don't have to come here. You don't have to get on Zoom. You could just send me your questions. And then I send you a pre-recorded reading, and you can read it at midnight if you wanted to. I mean, watch it whenever you feel like watching it, but you're going to get what you need out of that reading. Final message. See the value in those you love. 411. 411. Doesn't that represent love, right? I don't know. What am I thinking of? Like when we used to do the beeper? No, that was 143. Forget it. Okay. You are called to select one relationship close to you and nurture it in an attentive and loving way. Think about how to tell a loved one how much you care for them, appreciate them, and see them in your life. Make time for them today as you communicate how important they are for you. Now, this whole reading, session, channeling, discussion, whatever you want to call it, because it's all coming through the angels, through me to you, was all about that, except it was about the relationship with yourself. And truly, that is the most important relationship that you hold, is the one you have with yourself. So it is time to really listen to that. I'm going to hold this up, take a screenshot, read it, and remind yourself that you are the most important relationship that you have with yourself. And it is time to nurture that relationship more than you ever have before. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.